My girlfriend doesn't want me to start boxing. Recently, I've been terribly inconsistent in my habits. I'm almost completely bedridden with strep. I'm coping. It isn't a good excuse. And I spoke to my father about my life. We talked about how I haven't been able to stick to or even start many of my routines, from wanting to but not recording a video, to wanting to but not following a workout routine. Eventually, we got to nothing I do really feels like it matters, and we spoke about it until I eventually proposed I go train a martial arts. Martial art is awesome for you, and it will help you in many, many ways. This, to me, by the way, if you're someone who thinks big, thinks about starting all these habits and goals, but then you don't really follow through on them and your interest kind of wanes. Like, in one day you're super obsessed with the idea of becoming like an entrepreneur, but then the next day you almost like forget about it and you didn't take action on it. That's often actually a symptom of a shitty attention span, like focus. Because when you think about it, focus in the micro example is our ability to focus on what's happening right here, right now. I'm focused on this task at hand. But focus on the macro example is being focused on the big picture, like I'm focused on my business as a whole. When your focus is destroyed by the modern world, like with scrolling and all these things, then what you'll have is there'll be times where you're interested in something that's good for you, and you'll almost forget that thing exists up until the next time you think about it again, and then you're guilty because you're like, oh man, like I thought about doing this thing last week and I just completely forgot about it. So I know you're asking about martial arts. We'll talk about that, but one thing that I want you to consider if you're watching this, Dalen, and for anyone else who's watching this on YouTube, if you find your interest peaks and wanes a lot, like very quickly, if you're the type of guy to start something then quit it constantly, it's probably a focus thing. And the way to increase your focus is to meditate and read books. And the way to make sure your focus isn't getting continually destroyed is to stop a lot of social media consumption, a lot of like the modern day bullshit, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Try your best to just like completely eliminate those platforms. This is why, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, I highly recommend joining this platform we've got here. It's like social media, but for guys on self-improvement, where you can see like, there's like some lengthy posts where guys are discussing some like high level things, and there's courses and everything. It's the top link in the description. It's a fantastic investment into your journey. It'll even help you to improve your focus because, you're spending like a couple minutes on each post instead of just a couple seconds scrolling on each TikTok. Now, I know this may just be me ignoring the problem. It may be me just coping and hoping to find meaning in something temporarily, but pursuing boxing, the art in question, genuinely enlivens me. My current friendships are more surface level than I'd like, and they don't relate to me much. I suppose that if I trained boxing, I'd not only get more friends, but closer and better friends too. Besides that, I also felt it would be purposeful to learn to protect myself and even my partner, so I spoke to my girlfriend about it. I agree with your points here, but I would say that you're probably a pussy. Because if you're thinking about starting something, if you think about it for longer than like maybe 30 minutes, as a young man, you're probably just a coward. That's the real problem here. You don't think about like starting boxing or starting these things that you were talking about. Like you get the idea and you just fucking give it a try. Like go onto Google Maps right now and go search the boxing club and just go do your first session, then you'll know. Most people will think about boxing or recording content for like 6 months first before they go do a session. Now, the only caveat to this is if you're already rich and successful, then you should take longer before you add anything to your life. Like, for example, if I want to add something to my life, now I'll really journal it and think about it, because it can be huge for me to add something new, which can distract me from things that I'm already doing that I've got leverage in. But when you're a young man, you don't have fucking leverage in anything. And when you know that there's something that's inevitably going to be good for you, like boxing or bodybuilding, whatever, then you may as well just go fucking give it a try ASAP to see if you like it, if you like the club that you went to. You don't need to ask your girlfriend, your father, whatever. You just go onto Google fucking Maps and go find the closest boxing gym and then just go and literally just go and do a session there. Go to the free first day class that they usually have. And then if it's shit, if the boxing coach was like an asshole, if he wasn't nice, if it wasn't enjoyable, then fine. If everyone was training there, no one was being friendly, then you didn't enjoy it. If it was way too far from your home, okay, fine. But there's no point thinking about it for the next week, for a few days, or any bullshit like that. Just go to the first session you can, probably tomorrow. She immediately, out of the gate, didn't support it. She thinks it will make me violent and she is scared for my safety. I think that training martial arts makes you less violent. I think men who don't train martial arts are actually more violent. I understand, and I told her that I know of the risks. I promised her I'd never get violent with her, and I'd never just fight people to stroke my ego, because I won't. I'm not doing boxing because I just have hatred in my soul and want to hurt people. I want the challenge, brotherhood, and the accomplishment of actually learning and playing the sport. Nice, man. Eventually she said, why won't you respect my listen and why my opinion, and why can't you take no for an answer? You know, it'd be easy for us to hate this girl. I feel like she probably has some unresolved trauma. Just throwing it out there. Maybe she got like beat up by her dad or something. Just throwing it out there. Maybe not, but like there's a chance. When a girl says stuff like this, you know, if a guy said this to you, that would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? When a girl says some shit, sometimes you've got to let her off because, you know, she's a feminine little girl, whatever. This reminds me of a lesson that I've learned, which is like, you should never change your mind just to please a woman. If you think, like you've said here, that you, in your values, you genuinely believe that boxing would be good for you, you should not change your opinion just because your girl has a different opinion. You should, if your woman is intelligent, you should always ask her for her opinion, but you should not like bend over backwards just to make her happy in terms of how you live your life. You should still live your life with your values. She can tell you something that could potentially change your opinion, and then you're like, oh, okay, I didn't consider that. But if your values are still the same, which it is for Dalen here, then you should basically just acknowledge her opinion, and then do whatever the fuck you were going to do anyway. You know, there's this brutal thing. Probably about 95% of girls on the planet, if you dated them and you listened to what they said, they would drive you down in your growth so much that they would then want to leave you. There's only a very, very small amount of women on the planet that you'll get with who will actually, like the things they say will actually help you grow to becoming a better man, better man, better man. Most women, if you get with them, and especially if you mix with them, if you spend time with them, if you become more like them, and especially if you then listen to what they say in terms of how you behave, they will literally keep telling you to act in ways that eventually they would leave you for. So just be careful of this. You've got to be very wary of like listening to a girl. I know that sounds kind of sexist and bad, but it's actually the truth. And the more I tried to get her to understand my perspective, and the more I tried to alleviate her concerns, the more extreme she began to get. You don't need to try to get her to understand your perspective. What you're really doing is putting her in the mommy position. You're going up to her and saying, Mommy, can I join the boxing club? And she's like, no. You're like, Mommy, please. No. A man doesn't ask his girlfriend or even his parents if he can do something. He joins and tells them, hey, I'm doing that thing. So this is a side example, but many of you who are watching this are at the age of like going to university, and your parents are basically forcing you to go to uni even though you don't want to. You're trying to have the discussion with them, telling them, oh, you know, uni's kind of a scam, and, you know, people are making money without it. You know, I don't really want to go. And what your parents are hearing is like, Daddy, Mommy, I don't want to go to school. And they're seeing you as a little baby thinking, nope, you have to because you're a fucking retard. The man drops out of uni or doesn't even apply in the first place, goes up to his parents with a stern voice and says, I dropped out. Do you see that there's a difference? The boy talks about dropping out with his parents, and his parents shout at him and say, nope, complete the studies, even though, you know, a degree's fucking worthless these days. The man drops out first and then goes to his parents and says, I already dropped out. Or the boy applies for university but keeps going to his parents, but I don't really want to go to school. The man doesn't apply in the first place. Do you see how, like, the boy in this situation goes up to a girl and says, like, oh, well, I'm thinking about joining the boxing club, Mommy. I'm thinking about going to boxing, Mommy. Pussy. The man goes to the boxing club and tells his girl, oh, yeah, I just had my first boxing session today. Do you want to watch me? It eventually got to the point where she said, if you take this route, you may not have a woman by your side to protect. Damn. Okay, then. You go and do what you think is right. And if she wants to leave, she can leave. Simple as that. You do not, out of fear, not go and do the thing that you want just because some little girl told you what to do. You go to the boxing club. You smile about it. You tell your girl whenever she asks you, what did you do today? And you say, oh, I did my first boxing session. And if she storms off or whatever, you shrug your shoulders and just think, okay, well, we're clearly not compatible then because this was part of my authentic values. I didn't freak out or anything like that. I just said, understood. Good man. The problem is, I really do think boxing is an invigorating sport. I haven't actually done it yet, but I'd significantly improve my life, self-confidence, self-sufficiency, mental health. I don't want to lose my girlfriend of 19 months for this, but simultaneously it feels like I shouldn't compromise my desire to train the sport. I believe this sport may be the thing I'm missing to get back to my grind and in my best mental and physical health. Yeah, you got it there. You don't want to lose your girlfriend for it, fine, but you've always got to be fine with the risk of losing your girlfriend for you to pursue the life that is actually authentic to you. So my advice to you, Dalen, and for anyone who's watching this on YouTube who's in a similar kind of situation, and I'll make this kind of general for everyone, so this will fit everyone's who's watching this. Do whatever the fuck you want to do, and take the repercussions as they come. If you genuinely want to do something, if you genuinely believe that boxing is right for you, if you genuinely believe that becoming a businessman instead of going to university is right, whatever decision you authentically believe, then take action on it. And anyone who hates you for it doesn't even like the real authentic you. Fuck them. Whether it's parents, whether it's a girlfriend, whatever, you're a fucking man now. It's time to live by your life. Anyone who hates you for it and detaches from it, that's fine. They're basically just reacting to the real you, and they've showed you what they're actually like. Better to have that and lose someone you care about than to live inauthentically and lose yourself. Absolutely no reason not to try it. Don't let others stop you from living the life you want to live. Stop listening to girls. I don't have a lot of experience, but to me, the topic of boxing shouldn't be causing this much division. The fact your girl would bring up leaving if you started boxing makes me think there could be a bigger issue for her than just boxing. Yeah, I have a feeling like she got like beat by her dad or something. I know a 19, or maybe by an ex. I know a 19-month GF means a lot, but there may be bigger problems with her and your relationship. I agree, but I understand what she means. Yeah, things are rough between us right now, and I don't want to get too deep into it with random people, but obviously that's making our communication worse and affecting her receptiveness to it. She may be feeling generally unloved with the relationship, and there's a different issue I need to solve. Unfortunately, as I said, my mental and physical health has been so terrible lately, and potentially because of my own weakness, but regardless, it makes recovering from conflicts or problems a lot. Yeah, Dalen, if you don't go and do a session today, you're a fucking pussy. No more thinking, no more planning, no more asking people for permission. Mommy, daddy, can I... Stop being a fucking pussy, bro. You already know that you want to go. Stop asking people for fucking permission. Stop, like, getting people's fucking opinions to go, like, do a fucking gym session, bro. What are you a fucking coward? Come on, go onto Google Maps as you fucking hear these words right now. Go onto Google Maps. Go find the nearest boxing club. Find the next class that you can attend. It's probably today or tomorrow morning. And fucking go. Stop talking to people about it. Go give it a try first. You don't even know if you'll like boxing yet. Go and see if it's enjoyable. Right? Focus on that first. No more talking to people. No more thinking about it. If I see from you in the next week that you're still thinking about it, you're a fucking pussy, right? There we go. Simple as that. It's such a small decision for you to start boxing. So start boxing. And in terms of your girlfriend, basically just go and do the thing that you were going to do, which is, okay, go start boxing, whatever. If she storms off, if she gets extremely rude and disrespectful, then you let her go. But maybe you try and open her up and speak to her and say, can I ask why this is so triggering for you? And if she's emotionally mature, which most people aren't, but let's just say if she is, she might get silent for a moment and say, okay, my dad was a boxer and he used to hit my mom or something. And then you help her through that. Fine. See what happens. If she's not emotionally mature, which maybe she's not, which it seems like, then she's not going to tell you the real reason. She's just going to hide it. It's going to drive you insane. You go live your life how you want to, almost as if you're like single again. You're just, okay, well, I'm going to go to boxing. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do this and this and this. And yeah, but the thing is, look, you've said that you're in like a bad period of life right now. I wonder how much of that is to do with that your right-hand person, your woman, is probably an emotionally immature person. If I ask you, okay, go live like you're single, how would your life change? Maybe you'd start go training 2-3 times a day. Is this girl keeping you like a fucking Jeffrey? Like, are you meeting her and doing bullshit and sending reels to each other? Potentially. Go and live how you are supposed to live, and don't you let anyone fucking stop you. Not parents, not women, no one. You're a fucking man. And the people will only respect you when you actually do this yourself. For everyone who's watching this on YouTube, top link in the description, come join Library of Adonis. It's like social media, but for guys on self-improvement. And there's tons of like educational programs and everything in here as well. Top link in the description. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah!